In this world of beast control, everyone always wants to have strong and invulnerable beasts that make everyone afraid with just one breath. But this dude chooses a beast known as the national treasure that just munches bamboo day and night, a tiny fluffy panda bear. His opponent summons a beast covered in icy scales. Thoi Ninh telepathically connects with the panda, quickly briefing it on the opponent's abilities and battle tactics. The opponent uses his kaleidoscope skill to attack the panda. His beast's frost armor skill boosts defense and creates icy mist attacks. He's got the absolute upper hand, no clue how he could lose. Both charge into a fierce fight. The panda lands a slick move that sends the opponent rolling on the ground. The tiny panda wins. Sounds crazy, but that's the unpredictable power of beast taming. How a rookie like Thoi Ninh pulled this off. It all started when he first arrived in this world. One day he was sound asleep when a book dropped on his head, waking him up. He clutches his head, groggy and confused. Wait, wasn't he surveying ruins? What just happened? Looks like Thoi Ninh was rescued, but the place around him doesn't look like any hospital. His eyes lock on the mirror in front of him. Damn, what the hell happened to my face? Looking down, his body isn't the same either. Did he just time travel or something? He used to be a skilled archaeologist, not ripped but a grown man. Now he's just a regular high school kid. And that damn book that hit his head? What kind of messed up pet manual is this? Thoi Ninh finds the book on his nightstand. It's some weird pet guide, with a confusing title and pages featuring half-human, half-beast models. Suddenly memories flood his mind, his current life's memories. This is Bang Nguyen City, home to a pet beast breeding base and beast tamers, and he's an intern beast breeder. Whoa, Thoi Ninh thought he was old, but turns out he really landed in another world. He's no longer on Earth but in a place called Lamstar, thousands of light years away. Here, animals, plants, even wind and snow can become super-powered beasts with strong psychic abilities. From an Earthling's view, these are called beast companions. People on this planet also have their own superpowers, beast taming abilities. They can open a mental space to catch and control these super beasts. Thanks to this beast taming space, humans built a glorious civilization known as the beast taming era. The ancient beast tamers were elite humans of their time, with many big corporations built just for them. Beyond humanity's borders lie territories of super beasts. Fierce beasts often bring disaster to humans, so ancient beast tamers are always needed to keep peace. In his memories, Thoi Ninh was an orphan here, having lost all his family to a savage beast attack. He roughly understands this world now. Even if he time traveled, Thoi Ninh ended up in someone with a tough background, like many others. Although his name stayed the same, his identity changed. Thoi Ninh was no longer the respected Earth scholar in the scientific community. Thoi Ninh raised his hand to confirm his identity and check this week's mission list. A bunch of betting ads for Euro-Asia popped up in his face since he couldn't afford the premium version, so he had to settle for the free one. Thoi Ninh swiped away each ad and read the to-do list. Morning tasks included managing the pack, removing feeding schedules, and transporting food. Afternoons were for recording growth data of the parasitic creatures. The reason Thoi Ninh was an intern at this breeding base was because he wanted to become a beast tamer. Thoi Ninh picked up an application form for his Century Bank's pet role in this world. On Earth, you needed money for houses and cars, but here you didn't even have parents for your pet role. Even with time travel, Thoi Ninh couldn't escape this debt-ridden situation. First, he had to handle today's tasks. Removing feeding schedules meant dealing with pack-living pets that loved meat, had brutal temperaments, and were fiercely territorial. Handling such dangerous tasks, solo Thoi Ninh was scared he'd end up as their next meal. But since the main entity in this world was still alive, it wasn't a huge problem. Plus, Thoi Ninh's psychic bond allowed him to get accepted as an intern here. The psychic bond let Thoi Ninh communicate with any creature. Though he couldn't fight with his hands, it was super important. Through this bond, he could build peaceful relationships with other pets, making him popular in communication, education, research, and pet breeding. Basically, with this bond, he could chat with snow wolves and feed them meat piece by piece like spoiling a puppy. Thoi Ninh needed to get familiar before joining the formation. He activated the beast tamer's space. The scene shifted, making it feel like Thoi Ninh was in a different space all by himself. A book appeared before him. This sign had happened once before, when he first got the psychic bond. It meant Thoi Ninh had awakened a second bond. This book was a skill guide unlocked. When a human activates the beast tamer's space, the bond splits into two types, enhancement and specialty, with enhancement being the main type. Enhancement bonds, as the name suggests, boost certain types of beasts and are the typical top-tier bond. Specialty bonds were way more complex and varied, like resonance or fusion bonds. Thoi Nin's psychic bond was the most common specialty type, harmless, not rare, and easy to find work with. When Thoi Ninh crossed over here, he didn't expect to awaken a second bond, probably because he was someone else now. This bond could copy the superpowers of extraordinary creatures and upload them into his handbook. These powers could then be freely taught to other super creatures besides humans. But to successfully copy a superpower, 3 conditions had to be met. 1. Witness the target using the power firsthand. 2. Have physical contact. And 3. Complete all within 1 hour. Teaching skills to others also required meeting 3 conditions based on the skill's level, and the teaching process drained a certain amount of the user's energy. Additionally, the learner had to have a certain compatibility with the skill. Despite the many limits, this skill copying and teaching book was definitely a dirty little secret weapon for Thoi Ninh to dominate this world. A beast tamer's power wasn't just about the pet's skills, it also involved 3 other factors. 1 was the tamer's own talent and ability, 2 was the skill manuals, and 3 was the pet's evolution method. Among these 3, the first one requires the beast tamer to unlock their own abilities, while the second and third rely on knowledge, experience, and practice. This guidebook from the Time of Tranquility almost lets him master most of the secrets. Plus, with his 2 innate talents, he's got a seriously unfair advantage. The Time of Tranquility Covenant only has 1 innate talent, so it seems that when he transmigrated, his second talent awakened. After all, he's a time traveler, not just some ordinary guy. The Time of Tranquility here has the innate talent of empathic sensing, and combined with his copying talent, isn't that basically a game over for everyone else? Time of Tranquility told himself to stay calm, not to get cocky. This is probably the only perk for a transmigrator like him. Finally, the alarm clock went off. Time of Tranquility panicked and got his stuff ready to hit the road. He couldn't just leave the snow wolves behind. It was his first time driving this weird vehicle in this world, and honestly, it wasn't a bad feeling at all. He headed straight to the fresh meat crate reserved just for them. No wonder regular folks can't become beast tamers. These pets even get food better than humans. The 3 adults saw Time of Tranquility feeding the snow wolves today and deliberately threw some threats his way. Those kids aren't exactly sweethearts. Gotta be careful, but honestly, the skill level of the security team at the medical ward is seriously impressive. The guy in the middle grabbed the heads of the other 2 and said, "Don't listen to his nonsense. With the Wolf King there, nothing dangerous will happen. Need a hand." Time of Tranquility quickly declined and walked off as fast as he could, since he had 0 memories of them. Turns out in this world, Time of Tranquility's tough background shaped his personality. He didn't like socializing and preferred being alone, so he didn't make friends at first. He also didn't join any social circles. Basically, he rolled solo all the way. Although it wasn't necessarily bad, it was just the autistic trait of his empathic talent, so he left it as is. Right now, his priority was to slowly get used to this world. For example, memorizing the path to the snow wolf breeding area. Socializing and integrating could wait. Time of Tranquility hauled 3 crates of fresh quality meat to the snowy mountains. While transporting them, he suddenly turned around as a pack of snow wolves emerged from a mountain pass approaching him. An info panel popped up, but Time of Tranquility wasn't in the mood to read it. It just said their claws could easily slice through narrow iron bars, so his swollen bones were basically no big deal. One of them joked, "Latecomer, I'm starving to death, and this staff member looks pretty tasty. Maybe I'll take a bite." Time of Tranquility could understand exactly what they meant. He just thought, how autistic is he in this life, that he has to buddy up with snow wolves who want to eat him at the slightest chance? Is he staff or just dinner? In a panic, Time of Tranquility shouted, "Wolf King, save me." A howl echoed from the mountaintop. The majestic Wolf King appeared massive and powerful, with glowing golden rings around his legs. Time of Tranquility straightened up and respectfully saluted the Snow Wolf King. The Wolf King slowly approached and pressed its cold, wet nose against Time of Tranquility's forehead. When it moved away, his forehead glowed. This was the snow wolf's way of marking territory. Turns out, they used this method to keep his scent way more civilized than just peeing everywhere. Time of Tranquility's innate talent notebook suddenly popped up, leaving him puzzled. It opened to a page recording the Snow Wolf King's skill just used. Successfully copied the Wolf King's skill. The rescue mission was done even though Time of Tranquility was still wondering what skill the Wolf King had just used. As long as Thoi Ninh finds a suitable pet, he can learn this skill anytime. This skill is a hallmark of the horned beast. Doesn't that mean he can train a beast king? Seriously insane, having such a strong beast-taming talent totally lives up to being the world's beloved time traveler. The horned beast howled again, eyes judging Thoi Ninh, like, "What are you standing there for? Scared silly, huh?" Thoi Ninh shook his head. A time traveler like him couldn't really get the horned beast's mindset. The main thing was to finish the task of feeding them. Sure enough, after the horned beast marked them, the snow wolves didn't want to eat him anymore, just like the intern told him earlier. Above each snow wolf's head popped up, exclamation marks, showing Thoi Ninh could teach them the mind control skill. Thoi Ninh could definitely create horned beasts for himself, but randomly teaching this skill to them would cause major problems. If every single one wanted horned antlers, he wasn't taking responsibility. Sighing, Thoi Ninh got up to work on the stone. He felt pissed having to leave the snow wolves until the job was done, especially since he couldn't copy any other skills from them anymore. Besides the horned beasts and the mind control skill, none of the others used any skills while eating. Scoring a high-level mind control skill today was already a big win for Thoi Ninh. A hawk soared overhead, instantly added to the list of creatures easy to teach mind control. Thoi Nin's pets could not only raise horned beasts but also create beast kings. If he didn't have work, he'd totally want to try it out, but with 3 months of internship left, he had to focus on grinding. On the way, Thoi Ninh spotted a billboard advertising a special offer at the beast taming base. The beasts there were exactly the tamed pets Thoi Ninh had pre-ordered. Earth's beast tamers called them tamed pets, but they were just low-tier super species, each with only one skill, forced transformation. Since Thoi Ninh already put down a deposit, he couldn't back out. Luckily, their rarity and looks were a plus, and he was cool with his client's choice. Because of their low-tier species and limited skills, plus government perks, Thoi Ninh could totally handle them. Using the tamed pet's ability to convert gold minerals into forced body transformation skills, plus the mind control skill he just learned. Add in some sensory and speed skills he'd pick up later. Thoi Ninh believed he could turn his tamed pets into beast kings. Other beast tamers probably never thought to combine skills like this. Thoi Ninh was both excited and thoughtful. Only after the internship would he get a breeder's certificate and the authority to claim the tamed pets he pre-ordered. This was a long-term plan. For now, Thoi Ninh had to keep moving on to the next task and maybe learn some new skills. At the insect breeding test area, the instructor was assigning tasks to the interns. Our afternoon job is to observe and record the growth and behavior of the silk spinning insects. It's simple, but must be done seriously, otherwise you'll have to start over alone with over 1,000 silk spinning insects here. Thoi Ninh walked around, observing the silk spinning insects. There were tons of them, but their strength was weak. Luckily, their growth space was big, so they could still evolve. These silk spinning insects looked like worms, low-tier superspecies insects. Their skill was silk spinning, producing silk with many uses and various evolution paths. Thoi Ninh used mental sensing to communicate with the little silk spinning insects. They were shy and hesitant at first, but soon the whole bunch sprayed silk right in Thoi Nin's face. It took a lot of effort for Thoi Ninh to clear the silk off his face. Their attacks didn't really hurt but were super annoying. One silk spinning insect clung to Thoi Nin's hand, and a symbol popped up showing it could learn the mind control skill. Thoi Ninh laughed. Can a silkworm really give birth to a king? Looks like it's vibing with his goals so far. Thoi Ninh let it go back to its crew, unexpectedly learning the silkworm's shared web skill too. Pushing the web skill to the max might actually do some good. The skill book's description matched exactly what he thought. Even if it's useless, it's still a skill. Turns out you can easily relearn it with silkworms that already know the shared web skill. Teaching it again can boost mastery of this skill. Where Thoi Nin's standing isn't easy to work in, one slip up and you get caught instantly. Back home, Thoi Ninh checked info online. The Icefield pet base has 51 types of pets, but none have the sensory skill he wants to copy. The baby pet's skills here are mostly low-level, worthless for copying. Thoi Ninh still wondered if there's a limit to how many skills he can copy. Before figuring that out, he should grab some mid and high-level skills first. Thoi Ninh recalled his buddy's words from this morning. The maintenance crew by the med bay has crazy high skill mastery. The Icefield base doesn't just have tons of wild pets, but also pet tamers. Looks like it's time to switch targets. Thoi Ninh immediately headed to the pet base's med bay. As soon as he walked in, he put on a sad face, clutching his arm. "Doc, I think my hand got chopped off. Boo-hoo. Come here, let me see." The doc, fully equipped, examined him while silently judging him as a trainee caretaker. A fresh grad trainee like him always caused trouble. She's seen it all before. Even if the doc found nothing wrong since Thoi Ninh saved his ass, she had to heal him anyway. She used her pet's recovery skill. A bunch of soft dandelions brushed Thoi Nin's arm, making it feel super gentle. "You'll be fine soon," the doc said. His dislocated arm felt no pain anymore. The pet base med bay is seriously top-notch. The high-speed healing skill got added to Thoi Nin's records. This is a super rare common-level ability. Finding pet tamers to copy their pet skills really works just like Thoi Ninh thought. Today was just a test. 3 months of internship means plenty of time, no rush. You sure it's nothing serious? The female doc asked, since the maintenance crew said it was just a minor injury. Thoi Ninh thanked her and left. Using a small injury to test copying other pets' skills definitely made him miss work. Tomorrow he'll buy some pet food as a thank you. Even though it was a minor wound, the doc used pet stitching skills to treat it. This also helps pets get better at using their skills. Thoi Ninh's skill book can also be retaught to boost mastery. She's a giant level doc, basically increasing pet skill efficiency. That doc was also a pet tamer intern. When a pet tamer's and pet master's powers reach a certain level, they can join the Pet Master Association's unified contest. Passing means the intern becomes a pro pet tamer. Thoi Ninh wonders how long it takes for someone like him to go pro. 3 months flew by like a breeze. His skill collection hit the limit. Luckily, Thoi Ninh didn't rush to copy low-level skills. Among the skills he copied is super strength to boost visual skills. This comes from a bird-type pet, a high-rank wind system, super rare, that patrols the base's core area. Next is absolute deep sleep skill from a high-rank super rare pet of some caretaker. Sleeping like a log lets the pet enter hibernation, helping the body recover insanely fast. With this fast recovery speed and deep sleep, Thoi Ninh won't have to worry about wasting healing skills on injured pets anymore. He believes the real beast he hasn't met yet will understand him. Right now, Thoi Ninh is too broke, so he has to settle for copying healing skills. Although he guessed there's a limit to how many skills he can copy, only 5 is way too few. To increase that number, it seems Thoi Ninh will need to unlock special materials like a beast tamer. He can level up his beast tamer ranks through imagination constantly, enhancing, creating, and expanding his beast taming space. The stronger this space, the higher the level of beast contracts, and the brighter their aura. The better the environment inside, the faster the pets grow. The bigger the space, the more pets can sign contracts. Beast tamers choose to develop their space along these 3 paths based on their needs. As the beast taming space upgrades, their talent grows stronger too. Thoi Ninh aims to become a master beast tamer within a year, but first he needs to pick up the real beast he already reserved. Thoi Ninh boards the bus. The country he lives in is called the Ancient Radiant Kingdom. Dong Phuong is one of the oldest countries nicknamed Dong Hoang. In Dong Hoang, this city Bang Nguyen is a second-tier city. Thoi Ninh's hometown is Binh Thon, a suburban area of the city. The real beast is the most unique pet in Binh Thon and the whole country. Only by reaching its breeding base can he get the reserved real beast. Thoi Ninh arrives at the beast breeding base, drags his suitcase and heads inside. My real beast, I'm here. At first, the scent was overwhelming, but after climbing 74 steps, Thoi Ninh thought he'd reached heaven. No one dares to come up such a long staircase. Before he could catch his breath, he was totally shocked when he looked up. A massive real beast slowly approached. Thoi Ninh, who was sitting on the ground, stunned. Hello, the real beast greeted first, introducing itself as Lam Tu Truk, an employee at this beast dojo. Thoi Ninh sighed. Why would an employee try to scare people? Is this a way to subtly kick out visitors? Don't be shocked, this is just a real beast costume, Lam Tu Truk said. Thoi Ninh was speechless, definitely a tactic to scare off visitors. Thoi Ninh introduced himself and reached out to touch the costume on Lam Tu Truk. The suit felt as hot as a Hanoi summer. How does she not pass out wearing that? Lam Tu Truk had no choice. Everything she did was to better sense the real beast's mood. To raise a quality real beast, you have to understand them. That's the basic foundation for a breeder. Thoi Ninh nodded, it made sense. Lam Tu Truk ruffled his hair. I remember your papers said you graduated in breeding, right? Not sure if you'll get me. Thoi Ninh finally caught the meaning she was teasing him, but he still replied politely, yeah, I'm still a newbie, just starting out. Too cocky. Everyone has to start somewhere. Once you get your pet, I can sell you 2 suits at a sweet discount. Thoi Ninh didn't know how to react. He thought calling himself a newbie might earn some sympathy, but instead, he got hit with a multi-level marketing pitch. Let's head inside first, then do whatever you want. Once inside, Lam Tu Truk laughed, meaning she was relieved to ditch the hot real beast suit. Inside was a tough-looking girl with long hair, wearing a hoodie printed with pandas. Thoi Ninh frowned, wondering how close she was with pandas. Don't tell me she's about to pitch selling that hoodie too. Lam Tu Truk led Thoi Ninh to the reception desk. His paperwork was complete. Today, he might finally get his pet. Thoi Ninh was pumped, ready to pick his pet as soon as possible, quick and efficient, just how he liked it. Lam Tu Truk offered her condolences. If Thoi Ninh had come earlier, he could have chosen freely. Today only 1 real beast remained in the batch. The reason only 1 was left is because its talent and personality have some issues. Thoi Ninh was totally clueless. Honestly, it would have been easier if she just said the other one was mentally challenged. On the way to the beast's habitat, Thoi Ninh checked out the other creatures chilling around. These little guys were super introverted, just lying around all day, chewing on bottles. Lam Tu Truk said it's not their active season yet. Right now the beasts are in a quiet growth phase, so they barely make a sound, but the younger ones are way more lively. This one, Thoi Ninh asked as they stopped in front of a beast. It looked pretty normal, so she didn't get why it was considered problematic. Right after she said that the kid headbutted a nearby tree, so Thoi Ninh quickly backtracked. Alright, yeah, not the sharpest tool in the shed. After smashing into the tree, the little bear beast even rolled over once and then sat down, nodding, without a single cry of pain. According to Lam Tu Truk, this beast was born without the natural advantages others had, so its physique was weaker compared to its peers. Other beasts its age had already awakened their hardening abilities before turning 1, but this one still hadn't triggered it. The later the awakening, the poorer the talent, so that's why this beast wasn't chosen by anyone. Its personality also ended up different from the rest. Most beasts are super chill, rarely attacking others. That headbutt just now was its way of training its body's hardening level. This one's super self-motivated, pushing itself to train hard, hoping to awaken its hardening power soon, a rare beast with dreams and no complaints. Too bad its talent's a bit weak, so it still can't awaken. After hearing all that, Thoi Ninh summed it up. This kid's talent sucks, but it's crazy determined, and besides effort, it's got nothing else going for it. Sounds a bit scientific, but that's basically it. Lam Thu Chuk agreed with Thoi Nin's blunt style. She said the kid's just a bit slow to develop, and if it gets into the beast training space, it'll catch up fast. Plus, it's super rare to find a beast this self-disciplined. It's just that because it trains non-stop, it eats twice as much as the others. Training needs fuel after all. Then I'll take it, Thoi Ninh decided on the spot. In his mind, effort plus luck is the real way to win. He's not into those lazy pets that just eat and sleep. You sure? Lam Thu Chuk double-checked, since beast tamers usually care a lot about talent. Thoi Ninh said he digs pets with a strong work ethic. He felt this kid would vibe with him. Then he asked if she had any treats for him. Lam Thu Chuk had to break it to him again. She knew his situation well, and she had a certain view on treats. Here they treat all beasts the same, but if he picks this one, they'll throw in a month's supply of beast feed for that pig-disguised bear. Thanks. Thoi Ninh rolled his eyes, appreciating her. Lam Thu Chuk went over to the little beast and said, "Finally, a tamer picked you. You happy?" The little beast shot Thoi Ninh a hateful glare. It looked him dead in the eye. Beasts don't do slavery. I can get stronger on my own. I don't need a tamer or anything. Rejected, but Thoi Ninh loved it. The kid's got serious hustle. Lam Thu Chuk saw it struggling, so she grabbed the kid and pushed its head down, saying, "Listen up. If you run, no food for you. Being a tamer's pet means your growth doubles. Not just that, your hardening power that hasn't awakened yet will kick in fast too. Plus, it's got a chill, quiet spot to rest, tons of food, way better than living in some rundown place." The kid shot a cute, determined look and pointed right at Thoi Ninh, demanding he cover all his food and lodging. Thoi Ninh wasn't 100% sure, only promised as long as he had the cash. Being adopted made number 11 happy. This beast isn't a slave, no fear, unless it's about free food and shelter, then maybe he'd reconsider. Lam Tu Chuk gave Thoi Ninh a thumbs up, sealing the deal. This kid number 11 has been sharp since day 1. To win him over, just feed him. Thoi Ninh figured the kid just wanted a better place to grow up and tastier food. Once I'm a strong beast tamer, he can have whatever he wants, but until then, he's got to sweat it out with me. Thoi Ninh was eager to sign the contract. Lam Tu Chuk nodded, promising to watch his back while he did. Finally, this kid found a beast tamer who actually needs him, before everyone else looked down on him like Lam Tu Chuk didn't. A beast's innate talent can't just be made up for by the beast tamer's space. There's always a precedent. But his best trait now is his stubborn personality, hoping to earn some recognition. The kid looked tense, signing the contract for the first time. Lam Tu Chuk stayed close, calming him down. "Relax, don't struggle." In Lam Tu Chuk's mind, this is the story of a rejected beast who's lucky to survive among the pack. She believes number 11 will grow fast under Thoi Nin's protection and hopes they have a bright future. After the contract was sealed, number 11 vanished into a cube-shaped space, disappearing from reality. Signing the contract was way more exhausting than Thoi Ninh expected. Like all his energy got drained, but then he felt a warm rush and his body fully recovered, feeling strong again. Lam Tu Chuk watched Thoi Nin's whole reaction closely and confirmed he'd successfully bonded with the beast. "I suggest letting him get used to the beast tamer space first. Don't overdo the rewards. If he adapts to the beast tamer space within a week, he might awaken his taming power. Skill scrolls will be refined, and once the new beast contract is confirmed, the beast tamer's stats and skill books will increase." Thoi Ninh just saw Lam Tu Chuk suppress number 11, so how could the beast's power come back? Even though this beast is weak, I should still give him something in return. Seeing Thoi Nin's face flash for a moment, Lam Tu Chuk asked curiously, "What's up?" Thoi Ninh snapped back, "Just zoning out, checking skills, nothing. My body stats went up, so I'm just not used to it yet." Lam Tu Chuk thought it was normal to struggle adapting at first. He'd get used to it soon. Next, Lam Tu Chuk will take Thoi Ninh to finish the last procedures and hook him up with a beast tamer's handbook. The address is for later, so it's easier to send beast supplies for the kid. This kind of food needs to be fresh, so stocking up in bulk isn't ideal. Once it's all eaten, Lam Tu Chuk's a bit worried about Thoi Ninh coming here to buy food for him, but of course he'll have to pay then. That's no big deal, but Lam also has one more request, which got Lam Tu Chuk curious when Thoi Ninh mentioned it. Thoi Ninh wants to check out the area a bit to better care for the beast and understand its real environment. That's totally fine. You can even bring him back here anytime to hang out. Lam Tu Chuk said that, because this place is basically his home now. She just gently reminded him not to feed the scraps directly here. Thoi Nin's close, no worries, he won't eat them straight up, just needs to touch them. 2 hours later, after checking out the area, Thoi Ninh had touched every single one and gained the hardening power of the Iron Beast. This is just a low-level skill, making the body hard, like armor-boosting attack power, but since the kid hasn't awakened yet, Thoi Ninh had to hurry back and teach him. On the way back, Thoi Ninh found an abandoned training yard. It looked perfect for the 11-year-old kid's practice. Though a bit worn down, it was still usable. Thoi Ninh let the kid out, even though the forest master warned him not to release him so soon, but he needed a hand cleaning up so he had no choice. The kid ran over as soon as he appeared, rubbing his soft fur against Thoi Nin's hand like butter. Thoi Ninh couldn't bear to let him help with the cleaning, so he decided to do it alone. After finishing, Thoi Ninh told the kid to come over so he could teach him the hardening skills. The kid stretched out an arm, and a layer of armor suddenly formed. Turns out he could harden already, but Thoi Ninh was left confused about what just happened. The kid used his paws and feet to act out what happened. He just dreamed vividly in the beast space, and suddenly awakened during puberty. Thoi Ninh scratched him affectionately, so this is how the beast space pushes growth. But this speed was way faster than expected. The forest master said it would take a whole week. Wonder if she was messing with him. Just like that, the kid awakened his power, and Thoi Ninh had him start cleaning the house. His face looked clueless. Cleaning. Clean what exactly? Thoi Ninh pushed aside the thought of cleaning with him and decided to teach him some skills instead. Judging by the kid's state, hardening was just beginner level. Usually mastering a low-level skill from beginner to proficient takes about a month of solid practice. But if Thoi Ninh used the skill book to teach him again, who knows how much the kid's proficiency would improve. However, using the skill book to teach a beast seemed to drain a lot of stamina, so Thoi Ninh started thinking of alternatives. Maybe he could try the silk weaving skill, a mid-tier awakening skill in his arsenal, to see how much energy it would consume. The book warned him he couldn't teach the silk weaving skill to the Iron Beast because it doesn't know how to spin silk. Thoi Ninh scratched his head, clueless where to find a test subject. His gaze landed on a blue silk bug sitting on a branch outside. He told the kid to catch it gently, though this is your first real fight. After learning the skill, gotta take it seriously. The kid frowned, looking down on the opponent, but charged fiercely, growling. They tumbled a few rounds, then the kid jumped onto the branch and slashed it with his claws, cutting the branch the blue silk bug was resting on. The blue silk bug fell through the air, terrified, and almost in tears. The kid caught it softly with his paw. The bug looked up with big, pitiful eyes. But pity didn't work on this duo of fighters. Thoi Ninh said the kid was killing it. The blue silk bug, realizing it was trapped, jumped out of the kid's hand. But even with many legs, it couldn't escape the two bloodthirsty creatures behind it. Trying to run, Thoi Ninh wasn't about to miss such a perfect test subject. It only has one pattern on its body, so it must have just awakened once. He cupped the silkworm on the ground with both hands. Now there's no way it can escape. Thoi Ninh opened his palm, and the silkworm inside was ready to spray a bunch of silk at his face. Swish, swish, the sound of claws tearing silk echoed. After 3 months of training, Thoi Ninh had already mastered the skill of untangling silk. Plus, the silk from the little one in front of him was even weaker than those in the training. Kid, chill a bit or I'll feed you to that guy over there. Thoi Ninh pointed at the kid holding 11 baskets of silkworms. It was just an act, but the kid started drooling non-stop, like, is this even edible? The silkworm was already subdued, lying still on the ground for Thoi Ninh to do whatever he wanted. He opened the skill manual and started teaching the silk skill to it. The silk worm in his hand absorbed a surge of power from the manual, its whole body twitching as if hit by a silk whip. Meanwhile, Thoi Ninh collapsed from exhaustion, making the 11 silkworm handlers behind him panic. In a flash, he was hungry, tired, and sleepy. Teaching skills really drained a lot of stamina, but looking closely, the silkworm had developed a second pattern, proving he'd successfully taught it. Suddenly, the silkworm jerked, its head blocked an attack, then sprayed silk, turning it into a rope to swing from his hand down to the ground. Then it sprayed more silk tightly, wrapping around Thoi Nin's wrist. Revenge served, then it bounced. Thoi Ninh stayed behind, grinning non-stop, feeling its silk was even tougher than before. Though the intensity had increased for him, those strands were still too weak. One move from him snapped them in half. His fiery gaze locked on the silkworm, which obediently returned to his side. Looks like one rebellion isn't enough to gain independence. Thoi Ninh seriously examined the silk in his hand. This level of mastery seemed to have surpassed the initial phase. These silk strands were now comparable to high-level silkworms raised at the base. Maybe the rank wasn't as high, but the skill mastery was insanely good. Besides increasing mastery, the rank also rose. Could it be to help the silkworm better understand silk tribe skills? Maybe to boost its own power, triggering a second awakening? Or, perhaps teaching also meant Thoi Ninh transferred some of his strength to it. Whatever it was, this skill-teaching experiment was a total success. His body's energy drain was manageable. Thoi Ninh wondered if he should try teaching other skills. He skimmed the skill book, and found the cooldown for teaching skills was 8 hours. Thoi Ninh didn't know about the cooldown limit, but figured it made sense. Though the drain was within his reserves, overusing it would leave him wiped out. The 8-hour cooldown was basically a safeguard. Just eat a meal and get some rest, and Thoi Ninh could recover. To use these skills well, he needed to train his body. Any skill without a rank required 8 hours to recharge. Looks like low-level skills needed at least a day or two, let alone mid or high-level ones. Thoi Ninh put the silkworm into a beautiful breeding cage and hung it on a tree, not letting the kid get a chance to run. If there was food that sped up recovery or nutritious food, maybe after finishing teaching skills, he could quickly replenish. Using beasts with nutritious food, surely the old beast tamers had that too. It wasn't early anymore. Thoi Ninh prepared dinner. Tonight's menu was stir-fried bamboo shoots, with meat and steamed white rice. Hey, Eleven's drooling non-stop like a little kid. You told the kid to take a break. After dinner, you'll call him out to eat. What rest? The kid just barely woke up. His hardening ability, how's he supposed to chill now? He feels way behind other beast tamers his age and needs to grind non-stop to catch up. His eyes are literally on fire. Gotta train. Thoi Ninh watched the kid rolling on the ground and stopped himself from interrupting. Lam Tu Chuk was right. This kid's weird. If he can't train non-stop, he won't even eat. You told him no rush. Today's situation is special, so a little rest is fine. But the kid kept rolling around, refusing to stop, so Thoi Ninh let him train his hardening on the yard. Hearing that, 11 jumped up excited. But Thoi Ninh noticed there's nothing in the yard for him to train with. The kid pointed at a far wall. Thoi Ninh immediately stopped him. If he crashes into it like at the base, the wall will collapse. Thoi Ninh told him to focus on maintaining and expanding his hardening ability. First try to armor up one part, quickly leave the rest for later. 11 nodded happily. Thoi Ninh shook his head. This kid just arrived and already wants to wreck the place, but he's super dedicated, just a bit misguided. He needs to hustle and buy gear for training as soon as possible. Speaking of making money, Thoi Ninh got a bright idea. He can raise the blue silkworm and produce tons of high-quality silk. The selling price will be sky-high. When raising beast tamers, he might as well raise this blue silkworm too. It only eats regular leaves now, so no extra food costs. Once its silk spinning skill hits perfection, cash will flow like a river, easing the money pressure big time. That night, after a full meal, 11 finally got tired and crashed hard on the bed. Thoi Ninh leaned over the kid. If he didn't finish training, he wouldn't eat, and after eating, he'd jump right back to training. Looks like the kid's scared of being abandoned again if he slacks off, but Thoi Ninh hopes he feels safe since he'll never ditch him no matter what. A lot happened to 11 today, so Thoi Ninh put him in the beast realm space to rest and speed up recovery. Every night before bed, Thoi Ninh gets overthinking and can't sleep, wondering why he partied so hard he lost his phone and laptop. If he'd known sleeping alone sucks this much, he wouldn't have let 11 into the beast realm space so early. He still hasn't experienced the soft bear hug sleep vibe and regrets it big time. The next morning, the blue silkworm was picking up fallen leaves, with its silk chilling on a piggy breakfast. Suddenly Thoi Nin's door swung open, making the kid shy. Oh no, bad luck's here. Fully recovered, Thoi Ninh was pumped after a good sleep. The book's time, rewind, reset everything. All skills are ready to be taught. Today, full of energy, Thoi Ninh decided to teach 11 the hardening skill. But first, he had to hit the herbal shop to stock up on supplements and medical supplies. While 11 slept soundly in the beast realm space, Thoi Ninh went out to buy some power-boosting stuff for both of them. After that, he'd let 11 train freely. Passing by the blue silk worm in its cage, Thoi Ninh waved goodbye. He noticed the leaves inside its nest looked like it spun silk and wrapped them up. Seeing the chung stick already knew how to find food and was happily eating alone, Thoi Ninh felt it was really sensible, though a bit strange. The other chung sticks all rushed to where the food was, chasing growth and evolution, but this one had no dreams of munching on the tomato leaves at his place, not hustling with life. No wonder this chung stick was malnourished. If Thoi Ninh hadn't used his skill points to teach it to spin silk, its lifespan probably wouldn't last until the second escape. Passing by a group of chung sticks, Thoi Ninh promised himself to pick some roadside Dak Nguyen stems on the way back to diversify the kids' meals at home. He couldn't provide the spiritual fruits and foods to boost its growth like the chung sticks at the breeding center, but these street foods were free for the taking. This little guy's gonna be a money machine in the future. He couldn't let it get burnt out early from malnutrition. It was Thoi Ning's first time walking the streets here, which even had traffic lights like on Earth. But the main transport was dog carts, which didn't pollute the environment, though those dogs pulling carts looked pretty pitiful. "Bao Thoch Mayo, don't run." Suddenly a shout rang out on the street. A girl was chasing a Bao Thoch Mayo, its whole body sparkling thanks to the pile of diamond jewelry it wore. Thoi Ninh watched, wondering if this was a person who was really into cats, or a cat really into people. If it was a pet beast, it wouldn't usually lose control like that. Most cat owners weren't beast tamers. Without a contract, Bao Thoch Mayo could only be chased and guarded like pets. Their movement abilities were activated through different types of cat-eye gems. That's how they evolved, and cat-eye gems cost 3 to 4 times more than a Bao Thoch Mayo. Without cat-eye gems, Bao Thoch Mayo were just pets. With them, they became top-tier battle pets. After a stroll, Thoi Ninh finally reached the herbarium, the shop inside, covered in a cool shade of green. He went straight to the reception and asked if they bought chung silk. The staff said yes, but they only bought silk from chung sticks, fed rare foods. And the quality had to be premium after inspection for them to purchase. He handed Thoi Ninh a stack of info on the types of chung sticks they'd buy. Thoi Ninh skimmed through, but his eyes locked on the prices listed, plus the assets tied up in various levels. Every month, Thoi Ninh had to pay off a loan. He and his beast companions had at most a year. If he didn't become a professional beast tamer within that year, he'd have to obediently find a breeding center. The funding for raising his beasts would be cut off. No doubt selling silk was lucrative. As long as the chung stick's silk quality hit perfection, he could support his beasts and even take in more. "Are you a beast tamer, planning to trade premium silk?" "Not for now, just sell me 2 types of growth boosters." Thoi Ninh asked around about selling silk, but then decided to buy medicine, which puzzled the clerk. He said he'd already met a customer in a cloak. Leaving the shop, Thoi Ninh sighed. No phone, no payment options, not even allowed on the Cebus. Once he made money, he'd definitely buy the brand new iPhone 15 Pro. Back home, Thoi Ninh unboxed his recent purchases, starting with the calming cocoon medicine. Its ingredients seemed to come from creatures on supercriminal beings, with a simple effect mainly to reduce fatigue and boost physical strength. It helped users stay alert when tired, calming and nourishing the brain. It was said to be effective, so many beast tamers liked using it right after battles to feel that euphoric high like catnip. Though Thoi Ning's current finances didn't allow him to pop these like candy, having this medicine would definitely ease the body wear from using skill points to teach. Thoi Ninh went outside and summoned the 11-year-old kid. Its spirit seemed way better than before. The kid stretched happily on the ground. That was the magical effect of the beast tamer's space. Wish he could chill in there too. Just release the 11-year-old kid already wants to train. He's gonna train non-stop for 6 hours straight. No rush, man. You gotta balance training with rest, got it? Thoi Ninh shouted to get his attention. This 11-year-old probably doesn't realize the energy he's absorbing in the beast taming space ain't free. Part of it comes from you, the beast tamer. At least he should consider his master right. Part of it is boosting the beast taming space part, using the skill manual. Otherwise, your stamina's gonna get wrecked. Thoi Ninh ruffled the kid's hair, telling him to wait until he rested before teaching him the eternal sleep skill. Then he could train however he wanted, but today was just for boosting. Thoi Ninh happily patted the kid's head. His vibe was kinda off, but that face was straight up adorable. Using the skill manual, Thoi Nin's eyes lit up with a green glow that even Than Kam Chung noticed and got startled. The 11-year-old absorbed a strange energy and froze stiff like he was paralyzed. Meanwhile, Thoi Ninh looked pale and exhausted like he hadn't slept in days. Teaching boosting versus teaching the eternal sleep skill isn't that different, but it still drained him. Though he didn't pass out like he imagined for a moment, he felt as weak as a newborn chick. After popping a pill, Thoi Ninh felt better and looked over at the kid. He was hyped, jumping up with his right arm's boosting activated way more than before. The kid slammed down hard, cracking the ground and breaking the tiles into pieces. Thoi Ninh grabbed his head, yelling, "Damn, what the hell are you doing?" The kid was freaked out by what he just did, not understanding how he suddenly got superhuman strong. Of course, Thoi Ninh scolded him. His mastery of the boosting skill had leveled up big time. His combat power probably doubled in a flash. The kid's eyes turned cold like a night star, staring at Thoi Ninh. "Beast Tamer Master, what did you do to me?" Thoi Ninh crossed his arms arrogantly. "You see how powerful I am now, still want to rush your training?" The kid sat down deep in thought. Getting stronger without doing anything felt sketchy. Nothing in this world is free. Thoi Ninh saw the kid benefiting and getting restless. "Don't like it, then I'll take it back. It cost me energy." "Don't take it back, just leave it with me." The kid immediately refused. Even if this mastery wasn't earned by his effort, he could make up for it. To punish himself for not training today, but still leveling up, he'd push himself to train non-stop for 24 hours. No sleep either. Thoi Ninh was at a loss for the kid's self-discipline. He reminded him to tone it down. Training boosting non-stop for 24 hours would jump him from beginner to expert level. That whole day the kid trained obsessively alone. Thoi Ninh had to watch to stop him from smashing the floor again. Though Thoi Nin's energy loss was almost fully recovered, the manual's cooldown time increased a lot now, up to 24 hours. Meaning he had to rest a full day before learning the next skill. Looking back, the kid's boosting skill had reached mastery. Both duration and stability improved a lot. Now he could maintain it for up to half a minute. His speed also got better. His current training focused on using boosting energy, simultaneously covering different body parts. This made him strong both offensively and defensively in battle. These were all training drills unrelated to boosting intensity practice. The kid was still too weak to handle that. To train boosting intensity, he'd need machines, which obviously weren't as easy as outside help. For now, Thoi Ninh couldn't help the kid. He had to go out and find some affordable training method to replace the machines. The kid's training intensity now ain't small, and the strain on the beast riding space grows bigger too. The three key factors of beast riding space are intensity, scale, and environment. Intensity determines how flashy the space is, perfect for beast riders who like to roll with powerful pets instead of weak little ones. Scale marks how many pets a beast rider can contract with fitting for those who prefer full team battles, winning by sheer numbers. Environment affects how well the space digests nutrients and battle experience. The better the environment, the faster the pet grows. Given the situation of the kid, 11 and Thoi Ninh, focusing on the space environment is definitely the main development direction. The kid came from a legit breeding base, so unlike wild pets, there's almost no need to worry about flashy intensity. Meanwhile, Thoi Ninh isn't thinking about contracting a second pet, so the space scale can be put on hold. Building a solid environment for now is the top priority. Then with the beast riding space plus the effect of absolute sleep, the kid 11 can train however he wants, without his body feeling any burden. With his self-discipline and skill support, as long as he gets the right nutrition, the kid will definitely fully mature within the set time. But by then, food expenses will skyrocket, and since Thoi Nin's broke as hell, he's gotta find a way to hustle and make some cash. The next day, Thoi Ninh was remodeling his beast riding space, waiting for Kid 11 to finish training so he'd have a new home. Today the kid was as self-motivated as usual. Tomorrow, Thoi Ninh could start forcing training intensity on him. Another day passed, and early this morning someone knocked on Thoi Nin's door. The boss from the shop dropped off a high-intensity alloy board for him, promising hassle-free returns if there's any quality issues. Thoi Ninh was super happy with their customer service, but quality checks were up to Kid 11 himself. Still, Thoi Ninh felt something was different about the kid this time. The moment the kid stepped out, he carried a new vibe, looking seriously strong. The kid's fourth awakening and transformation went super smooth. Looks like Thoi Nin's decision to upgrade the beast riding space environment was spot on. They're one step closer to becoming a pro beast rider. Today, Kid 11's performance was on point. Thoi Ninh planned to grab some tasty food for a celebration feast. Also, Thoi Ninh brought good news: they'd start forced intensity training. Although the environment here isn't ideal for forced training, Thoi Ninh had no other choice. Suddenly the kid plopped down, patted his own butt, signaling Thoi Ninh to use the toughest gear to hit him. Real brave beasts don't fear pain. The kid happily waited for the smack. But Thoi Ninh couldn't do it. He couldn't bring himself to hit him, because if he did, he'd be the one who'd suffer. "Don't worry, I got you covered," Thoi Ninh said, pointing to the stack of high-intensity alloy boards behind the kid. He couldn't let the kid smash the walls or floor, but with these boards he could hit as much as he wanted. If the kid's too soft and his strength isn't enough, making training ineffective, they could lay these boards on the ground, no limit on how many. then use Earth's gravity to help him train. The kid could jump from trees or rooftops down to the ground for full-body force training. Thoi Ninh named this the long jump forced training method, even adjusting height to level up the challenge like a game. Isn't this way more effective than just gritting your teeth and biting down to fight it? Once the kid can jump off a skyscraper without a scratch, he'll be the champ of this realm for sure. Thoi Ninh should have thought of this strategy sooner. His beast is truly a born genius. The leaf-eating bug was casually chewing when it suddenly got so scared it dropped its snack. Turns out that crazy scene was what freaked it out. The 11-year-old kid's hand stiffened and he jumped onto those alloy planks. Those planks were top-notch, but just one jump from him cracked and snapped a stack of them in half. The 11-year-old looked at his hand, now stuck with splinters from the broken plank and torn in spots. He immediately used his rapid healing ability. Moments later, both hands showed no trace of damage. The kid stacked the alloy planks again to keep practicing his rooftop jumps. Thoi Ninh sat inside, hearing the jumps, feeling over the moon. Training with these alloy planks really works. Now the kid's hardening skill has reached the mastery level. Buying one alloy plank lets him speed up hardening training, or he could just chow down on the plank itself. He's eating so much now he can digest metal materials. The leaf-eating bug has awakened and molted for the 4th time, reaching level 4 awakening. Its silk has matured to a level comparable to fishing line, flexible and as agile as human limbs. The bug's growth is something to look forward to, since it'll be his ultimate love blade machine. Luckily, thanks to the supplements Thoi Ninh prepared, he's been able to simultaneously speed train both the bug and the 11-year-old these past few days. After using his skill points, Thoi Ninh just needs to rest. His body will gradually upgrade. The skill point drain feels like the fatigue after a workout, which Thoi Ninh can totally handle. Skill proficiency levels go from beginner, proficient, mastery, perfect, to godly transformation. Now the 11-year-old has hit mastery in hardening, aka level 5, awakening. The hardening skill flows through his whole body and can be activated anytime. As for the leaf-eating bug, no need to say more, its proficiency has reached mastery level 4, awakening. The day Thoi Ning's been waiting for has arrived. Time to test if all that hard training paid off. Thoi Ninh ran out to call the 11-year-old, who was still wrecking the alloy planks, telling him to pause training this afternoon, rest properly, eat up, and then they'd go into real combat. Hearing this, the kid crushed the alloy shard in his hand in surprise. For a beast like this, growth requires 3 paths: food training and fighting. For Thoi Ninh and the kid, fighting doesn't mean life or death battles, but official beast taming duels to measure enemy strength. Thoi Ninh obviously can't go to dangerous places. With skill points he must develop steadily and healthily, no overdoing it. Checking the map, Thoi Ninh realized his spot is super far from the beast taming duel zone, but going to the outskirts means facing tougher creatures. However, to become a pro beast tamer, besides basic and duel exams, survival tests in the wild are also required. Wild combat can wait. Diving in now would be a death wish. If outdoor duels are mandatory, he can join the Beast Taming Association's outdoor training, where pros are on hand for safety. Thoi Ninh hopped on a bus to the Beast Duel Arena in Binh Thuan, went straight in to register for a team battle, but since it was his first time, he needed a quick intro from staff. A pretty lady explained that the place offers arenas for superpowered duels. Thoi Ninh could pick a pre-chosen opponent or go random. Pre-chosen means a scheduled opponent. The arena just provides the venue, referees, and medics. For random battles, he'd fill out basic info and they'd assign an opponent and provide all other services. Random battles depend on the rank of the tamer's pet, divided from rank 1 to 6 and rank 7 to 10. They'll pick opponents based on Thoi Ning's pet rank within the integrated rank range. No matter the method, each match charges $100 per person. Thoi Ning's cool with the entry fee. $100 covers 3 days' food for him and the 11-year-old kid. But compared to arena maintenance, referee, medical fees, and other extras, that price is fair. If the arena wasn't state-sponsored, the entry fee might be even higher. Thoi Ning's teacher hesitated, then told staff about a service for those short-on-cash betting fights, where the loser pays the arena fee for both sides. Hearing about free entry got Thoi Ning's eyes lit up. He signed up for battles with pets under rank 6. The 11-year-old's pet is currently rank 5, with skill enhancement at mastery level 5. It even has crazy fast recovery speed. Even against a high-level rank 6 pet, their win chance is over 50%. Since Thoi Ning's all about saving cash, he's got to apologize to his opponent. If he loses, he owes $200 equal to a week's food money. But he hopes the opponent isn't too weak, otherwise it won't be a real fight. The staff handed Thoi Ninh a form to fill out. Thoi Ninh asked if he could raise the bet since he's all in win big, or skip meals for a month. But betting beyond official limits wasn't allowed, so the staff couldn't help. Losing that money-making chance bummed Thoi Ninh out. After finishing the paperwork, the girl gave him a battle card and directed him to the main hall to wait for opponent matching. The screen in the hall showed Thoi Ning's name and arena number. On the way to the main hall, Thoi Ninh passed a four-eyed guy registering to fight named Tran Kai. If you've watched the whole video, you know Tran Kai's Thoi Ning's upcoming opponent. Tran Kai's got his own story. His classmates are weak as heck, so they don't pressure him at all. Growing up like that, when will Tran Kai ever become a pro tamer? This arena doesn't limit tactics, just ranks. Tran Kai hopes some social tamers show up so he can learn a lesson. Though he's here to learn, Tran Kai's confident he won't lose. He's a pet lover after all. Thoi Ninh waited in the main hall as the loudspeaker announced he was up for arena number 11, ready to fight. Tran Kai got the same announcement to enter arena 11. That 11-year-old kid fighting in arena 11. This coincidence feels like a good omen. But just because Pet 11's in Arena 11 doesn't mean it'll always be the lucky one with no love life. In the hallway to the arena, Thoi Ninh and Tran Kai met and silently sized each other up. In Arena 11, Uncle Bok Thoch manages and referees. Their match time is 1 hour. Once you're ready, start the fight. I'll be the referee for you. Both young guys were confident in their skills and eager to jump right into the fight. At level 11, Thoi Ninh summoned a massive real beast behind him. The 11-year-old kid with patches of bright red appeared. Then it was Tran Kai's turn to summon his beast. An icy path shot out from Hoa Van's summon, laying down a frozen carpet for it to walk on. Tran Kai's beast was an ice-armored creature, a super rare insect type from the same clan at 6th level mastery, with 2 fully mastered skills, Bang Kai and Bang Lich Chow. Outside the hall, the battle between the two was broadcast on a giant screen, drawing curious onlookers. Look, it's another newbie throwing down. 2 girls, walking through the stands stopped by the Spring Star Arena, their curiosity piqued. The pink-haired girl recognized the guy below as Tran Kai, and her friend finally noticed he was wearing the Tran Kai school uniform. Tran Kai and the pink-haired girl were classmates. She said he was insanely talented. Compared to her, Tran Kai was on a whole different level. Few in their grade could even come close. Tran Kai's ice-armored beast had reached 6th level, and both its skills were fully mastered. Whoa, didn't expect a top student here. So, do you know his opponent? Seems like he's using a real beast too, just like him, but the pink-haired girl didn't know Thoi Ninh personally. But judging by her experience raising real beasts, she guessed his beast wasn't even at 6th level yet, so there was no way he could win. Before that 11-year-old kid mastered forced transformation, it'd be tough to break through Bang Kai. Plus, real beasts are lazy creatures. At this maturity level, most are just starting to learn forced transformation. If she had to pick again, she definitely wouldn't choose a real beast, just because it looks cute, they're too lazy, and a pain to train. Besides, even at maturity, real beasts don't necessarily stand a chance against ice-armored beasts. After all, the ice-armored beast's 2 clan skills were already fully mastered. Although mature, real beasts have better overall potential than mature ice-armored beasts. Thoi Nin's 11-year-old was still just a rookie. Tran Kai kicked off the fight with a Bang Lich Chow strike. The ice-armored beast lunged, slashing with sharp claws and crystal-hard ice spikes on its knuckles to tear at its opponent. The referee watched and evaluated, noting the beast's burst potential was solid. It was definitely well-trained, living up to the reputation of a top school student. Thoi Ninh commanded his 11-year-old to use a skill, but it could only perform forced transformation, since that was its only move. The kid crossed his arms in front, instantly turning his whole body into an unbreakable stone. The ice-armored beast's claws hit him, cracking the ice spikes on its hands, and even its claws making it yelp in pain. The 11-year-old was untouchable, swinging his arms to knock off the small ice shards. Tran Kai's face fell. This was the first time he'd seen his Bang Lich Chow skill break. Thoi Ninh ordered the kid to counterattack. The kid jumped up to the mid-stage, using the Leap of Faith skill he'd been training for a week. Tran Kai quickly told his ice-armored beast to use Bang Kai as a shield. If that heavy plush bear fell, its antlers would shatter for sure. The ice-armored beast raised a solid ice shield covering its face and body without leaving a single gap. The 11-year-old charged down with a wind-slicing punch. He focused all his forced transformation power into the punch, and in an instant, the ice shield shattered into pieces, revealing the beast's wide-eyed shock. The ice-armored beast was flung backward, its head spinning. No way, no way, Tran Kai gasped in disbelief. The beast armor zipped past him like lightning, slamming his whole body into the wall behind. Tran Kai sneezed and ran a nosebleed. This made no sense at all. The beast armor he trained was flawless. How could it lose like that? Thoi Ninh was super satisfied, showing off the mastery level enhancement skills of that kid 11, which seemed way too strong, totally dominating even a tough opponent. If he'd known it would work this well, he wouldn't have saved dinner just to hype up its fighting spirit. Everything ended faster than he expected, leaving Thoi Ninh a bit disappointed. This wasn't really fitting the original plan to test the kid's fighting limits. Next time, Thoi Ninh thought he'd have to find an even stronger opponent to really challenge Kid 11. He quickly ran over to Tran Kai to check the situation, still confused about what had just happened and why it ended so quickly. The Hoa family knew this was the power of mastery level enhancement, but this creature was just a 5th level baby beast. How could it reach mastery level enhancement? The pink-haired girl was seeing mastery level enhancement on a baby beast for the first time. It was rare for a baby beast to develop abilities this far. Her friend laughed and teased. "And ooey, that brainiac classmate of yours just lost. Sorry, wrong person, he's not my classmate." A 5th level baby beast with mastery level enhancement was seriously an insanely rare anomaly. The pink-haired girl suspected Thoi Ninh might be a high-ranking beast tamer who hid his true strength to train his beast secretly. If not, then he must come from a wealthy family to afford special nutrition and unique training methods. She just hoped Tran Kai could handle this shock. Tran Kai was recalling the beast's data back to his beast-taming space, constantly wondering about Thoi Ninh and Kid 11's background. Looking up at them, Kid 11 happily waved goodbye to Tran Kai and the beast data, thankful for a fight that really scratched its itch. Tran Kai felt a little heartache. Clearly the kid was better suited for school life. First time out in the real world, and he already ran into a monster. Kid 11 flexed his hands, saying all this was thanks to waking up at 4 a.m. to practice dancing for so long. After calming down, Tran Kai officially declared the match over. The beast data lost its fighting ability, and the clear winner was Thoi Ninh. "Victory, time to chill," Thoi Ninh proudly said to Kid 11, then headed back to his beast-taming space. Tran Kai and the others stared wide-eyed at him. He couldn't help but ask if Thoi Ninh was the old beast tamer from Bin Thon. Tran Kai accepted defeat, but if he was going down, he wanted it to be clear because Thoi Ninh was definitely not normal. Thoi Ninh honestly replied he was the old beast tamer from Bin Thon, who just graduated this year studying in Bang Nguyen City. Tran Kai understood now. Bin Thon was just a suburb of Bang Duin City, so the education level was obviously lower. Top students often risked everything to move to the city for better educational resources. Although Tran Kai was considered a star student in Bin Thon compared to city students, he couldn't compete. The gap was so big it made him feel insecure. He firmly believed Thoi Ninh was the best young, old-school beast tamer in the city, but there were even better out there, so he needed to work harder. "Nothing else, I'm heading out," Thoi Ninh said, taking the initiative to leave early. He still had to prepare dinner to celebrate Kid 11. Tran Kai nodded, but suddenly remembered something. He was also graduating this year, but not for another month. So why did Thoi Ninh say he just graduated? Tran Kai explained that the graduation time he knew was for students majoring in combat specialization. Other majors like breeding, nursing, or Tran Kai's own internship schedule meant earlier graduation. Hearing this, Tran Kai felt even more shook, because Thoi Ninh wasn't even a combat major but already had such overwhelming power. Seeing Tran Kai's dazed face, Tran Kai reminded him to take the beast data to the medical room for treatment. Plus, there were money issues. He just barely made it through. Tran Kai said with a heavy heart that he'd head to the infirmary first. Spirit beasts need to recover, but healing means treating the root cause. Since he already spent $200, there's no way he's not using the infirmary here. After stepping back into the main hall, Thoi Ninh realized there was an over-level battle going down. By the rules, Spirit Beast Masters pick teams based on their pet's maturity level, not the tier, since opponents don't always want to fight someone weaker. Hearing that Thoi Ninh guessed, this girl probably hadn't seen him and the 11-year-old's skills yet. Boosted levels mean their combat power goes up too. Chu Fi joined battles in groups from level 7 to 10, otherwise it's tough to find opponents, or if Thoi Ninh knew another rival, they could set up a match. The problem is Thoi Ninh can't go hunting for opponents. He's a total introvert and doesn't even have friends at the nurturing base. Thoi Ninh waved it off and decided to check out the Spirit Beast Masters Guild instead. The guild handles task assignments and rewards. Spirit Beast Masters can take on missions here and get paid after completing them. These missions are mostly for trainee Spirit Beast Masters, chosen by the guild to help train their skills in some way. Every 3 months the guild organizes outdoor training for trainees. It's their way of nurturing local Spirit Beast Masters. No matter the city, they all hope to have more and stronger pro-Spirit Beast Masters than other cities. Missions or training both are basics for trainees, but most tasks are about dealing with super creatures or training spirit beasts, while mechanized training is tiring and low-paying. With that time, letting the pet roam might actually earn more cash than doing missions. Still, Thoi Ninh went to the auto mission registration machine. Given the situation, it was way easier to find suitable targets here than just grinding for money. Even without real opponents, doing some fitting missions would get the 11-year-old moving and stop him from whining about being bored. With his health, if he stayed home, jumping every day, sooner or later, his brain might start acting up. Taking him out to battle this time, Thoi Ninh could clearly see the excitement on his face. Thoi Ninh scrolled to a 1-star mission called Catch the Stray Cats. Recently, some organized large-scale stray cat groups showed up in the area. Thoi Ninh didn't expect stray cats to live in groups. Some super creatures have intelligence, but these cats are notoriously sneaky. If they just scavenged for food, no big deal. This mission is easy and wouldn't help train the 11-year-old, so he skipped it. The next mission had decent pay, but was only for wind-type pets, and since the kid can't fly and only jumps, he passed on that too. Thoi Ninh kept scrolling through missions like flipping through a top chart, passing countless tasks without picking one. An hour passed, others came and went, but he stayed glued to the auto mission selector. There were tons of missions, but none fit his kid. Plus, most were low-level folks looking to hire spirit beast masters for work. Like the mission to catch live grasshoppers, that's from a restaurant with many spirit beast master guilds involved. Grasshoppers are super creatures and crop pests, but also a tasty dish. Compared to buying live grasshoppers at the nurturing base, doing missions saves money. The only downside is the slow payout, but this isn't urgent, it's a long-term gig. Looks suitable at first glance, but as mentioned, the kid can't fly, and grasshoppers' wind wings make them fast and agile. When the kid fought the armored beast earlier, he could only force a full-body defense to block attacks, not dodge them. Facing a quick, agile opponent, reaction speed and stamina are the real weaknesses of a physical spirit beast. Maybe soon Thoi Ninh will arrange for super strength training for Kid 11 to boost his skills even more. The sudden burst power of the beast, combined with super strength, lets him pinpoint enemy attack spots perfectly. Just mix in more skills, and his combat power will level up fast. Stuff like catching live locusts can wait until the kid masters super strength. Tran's been focusing on reaction training for a while. Right now, it's best to think about the perfect approach for earth-digging skills. These field rats are underground creatures, their skill is burrowing, and their specialty is escaping through tunnels. In terms of fighting power, even the most alert field rats are only as strong as wild animals. Adults can easily knock them out with a weapon. But the tricky part about these creatures is their crazy fast reproduction and quick, stealthy moves. When threatened, they group up to defend, and you can't judge their strength by normal adult standards. Luckily, when in danger, they don't scatter immediately. Otherwise, their impact would be massive. Yeah, these critters are way nastier than locusts, and are considered one of the 4 major pests, rats, moths, and sparrows included. There aren't many field rats in the city, but in the countryside, they run wild, causing endless headaches for farmers. The field rat extermination mission is a joint effort by several local districts, a long-term gig. Seems like there's a team of beast tamers sent out every day to handle the pests. Exterminating field rats is easier than catching live locusts and also helps train Kid 11's reaction skills. Once you spot a field rat, you gotta take it out before it bolts, like a whack-a-mole game. If you train 11's reactions for a few days, it's a genius move for a time traveler. For now, you can pause the pet training. His current mastery level is enough. Thoi Ninh just picked his mission and was about to head out when he noticed a familiar figure turning back. Seeing Chankay Thoi Ninh asked, "What's up, has your beast gang recovered yet?" Chankay looked at Thoi Ninh like he was an ancestor, sweating nervously. "Yeah, recovered." Seeing Thoi Ninh here to pick a mission too, Chankay got curious about what kind of quest a pro like him would choose. Maybe he could get some tips. But Thoi Ninh picked the field rat extermination mission and planned to do it solo, which made Chankay barely hold back a laugh. This mission's better for a team, since those field rats are super sneaky. Teamwork makes it easier to wipe them out on a bigger scale. Suddenly Chankay had an idea. "Hey, why don't we team up? I'll take the mission too." Now it was Thoi Ninh sweating bullets. He's no pretty boy, and just got roasted hard by Chankay. Why was he acting so friendly? Thoi Ninh tried to decline, saying one more person wouldn't make a difference, but Chankay already had a plan. "I can call 2 more people. Then we'll have someone to control, someone to bait them, and a multitasker to boost efficiency." Thoi Ninh was stuck not knowing how to say no. But thinking it over, it made sense. Those rats aren't a big deal. Still, if he accidentally stepped on a nest tomorrow, it'd be a mess. Working as a team might help Thoi Ninh drop his old lone wolf habits. So he nodded, agreeing to join for the sake of social integration. Chankay pressed close and sealed the deal immediately. Tonight, he'd rope in 2 classmates to make a solid 4-person squad for the mission. His real goal was to figure out how Thoi Ninh trained his beast back then, how he managed to turn a lazy beast into such a fierce powerhouse. That evening, Thoi Ninh headed to the herbal shop again. As soon as he opened the door, the shop owner blurted out, "You again." In the past 2 weeks, Thoi Ninh had come here 3 times, leaving the owner clueless about what he was up to every day. Thoi Ninh knew he'd already shown his face around this herbal shop, but he had to be thick-skinned and buy something, so he scrambled for any excuse. *ahem times the amount of soul beasts trained and battles fought is huge. Guess I'm just hooked on spicy stuff, no other way around it. The owner handed him a set of supplements Thoi Ninh always ordered, since he bought the same stuff every time the owner had memorized it by now. Thoi Ninh kept a friendly smile, but thought to himself he should try a different shop next time. Or sooner or later, rumors would spread that he was the beast tamer who never missed a day. Me, Thoi Ninh, eats 3 bowls of rice, and the little guy 11 chews through 30 iron rods. After finishing his meal, Thoi Nin's eyes sparkled as he looked at him, thinking, "Time to teach you some new skills." Although 11 got a new skill, he didn't seem thrilled, since from now on he couldn't say his usual slogan, his strength had to come from his own effort. Today, Thoi Ninh would teach him super strength, starting by wrecking his mental state. His eyesight could already handle some forced enhancements, so he'd definitely see clearly in the dark. After teaching super sight, 11's eyes shot laser beams like Zerfras, while Thoi Ninh staggered around like a ghost. The little guy ran out to the yard to test it. Even though it was pitch black, he could clearly see everything. 11 was over the moon. At this rate, he could train even at night. All the effort he missed before would pile up now, meaning he'd stay up late to make up for lost time. This time, the notebook's cooldown was 48 hours, so it looked like Thoi Ninh wouldn't fully recover his spirit until the next morning. He just hoped the little guy wouldn't wreck the place tonight so he could get some peaceful sleep. If he had more energy, tomorrow's rat hunt would be way smoother. That night, Tran Kai hit up the class group chat to find members for the rat hunting team. Trang quite replied privately, "From now on, I'll see you at the arena." That simple message made Tran Kai's face go pale. He immediately fired back with a bunch of question marks. "What did you see? You saw everything you were supposed to." Trang Quiet's one-liner crushed Tran Kai's heroic reputation in an instant. If she saw it, that meant all the girls in class knew too, and soon the whole class would know he got beaten by a random passerby. Trang Quiet, after hearing the news that Tran Kai was about to go on a mission with Thoi Ninh, decided to join the rat hunting crew to ask him some questions. The next morning, Thoi Ninh showed up at the meeting spot with panda eyes even darker than 11's, looking so hungry it made Tran Kai uneasy. Even though 11 stayed up all night cramming, he slept soundly and was super chill, but mastering common-level skills was still way too much for Thoi Ninh. Thoi Ninh and Tran Kai chatted while waiting for the other two to arrive. Trang Nguyet followed her friend from that day to watch the match between the two, greeting Tran Kai in the morning. Tran Kai introduced Trang Nguyet to Thoi Ninh, and the girl with her was Vu Than Than, her friend, and a second-level beast tamer in training. Thoi Ninh didn't know what to say, just raised his hand to say hi. The 2 girls, still stunned by his energy from yesterday, bowed in unison and greeted Thoi Ninh, calling him the Great Master. Thoi Ninh didn't dare accept such praise, so Tran Kai whispered into his hand the reason why those 2 girls respected him so much. Then Tran Kai kicked off the introductions, saying his own pet was a level 6 ice trash beast skilled in ice furnace and isekai'd techniques. Trang Nguyet's pet was a level 5 real iron beast, proficient in beginner-level forced taming, though she thought it was nothing compared to Thoi Nin's expert forced taming. Vu Than Than's pet was a level 6 thorn dust monster, skilled in advanced binding techniques. When it was Thoi Nin's turn, he introduced 11, his new level 5 pet, who had already mastered expert forced taming. All 3 exclaimed in unison, "That's insane." Thoi Ninh just smiled, knowing that once they saw 11's determination, they'd totally get it. The group started registering, and agreed to set off right at 8 o'clock. On the way, Tran Kai broke the ice, saying he forgot to ask yesterday if Thoi Ninh had graduated and wasn't a professional beast tamer. "Yeah, I majored in nurturing," Thoi Ninh replied, casually shocking the 3 with how brutal killing was way too rough. "Boosting spirit is the real way to go. A nurturing major like you, training force taming at expert level, sounds dope." When they arrived, the farmers happily welcomed them and handed over protective gear, saying, "Welcome to Bak K village, where we exterminate rats." The whole crowd of farmers saw them off all the way to the site, and Thoi Ninh felt their enthusiasm heating up even more than the outside temperature. But with dozens of hectares like this, they had no clue where to start. "Let's start by recalling our pets," Thoi Ninh said. "In this environment, to lock down the field rats, you gotta use super strength, which 11 just learned." The three lit up and eagerly followed the great master Thoi Nin's advice. Trang Nguyet's level 6 real iron beast looked way bigger than 11, but wasn't as lively or aggressive. Honestly, it seemed even more cautious than 11. Watching her pet Trang Dwight noticed 11 was growing perfectly, both fur color and body condition were super healthy, and asked Thoi Ninh what he fed him. Suddenly, Trang Nguyet's eyes lit up. Wait, aren't you the student from Chuk Thoch Martial Arts School? The nurturing base at Chuk was the strongest for real iron beasts, and Chuk Thoch Martial Arts School trained beast tamers specializing in real iron beasts. The current master there mainly nurtures grandmaster-level real iron beasts, which not only master force taming, but also lightning and fire skills. Their nurturing methods are super unique. Honestly, in Bang Nguyen City, anyone who knows real iron beast nurturing best would say it's Chuk Thoch Martial Arts School. Thoi Ninh denied it, surprising Bang Nguyen a lot. She even thought he was a true disciple of Chuk Thoch Martial Arts School. Right now, among the city's beast tamers, the most powerful is probably Lin Quan Chu. The strength of a beast tamer intern, whether professional or grandmaster, is divided into master, intermediate, and advanced levels, and the martial arts school owner Chuk Thoch is already a grandmaster-level beast tamer. Vu Thon Thon isn't sure if the school owner is the strongest, but his daughter seems to be the oldest professional beast tamer in Bin Thon. She passed the professional exam at 18, then said she was a student at one of the top 9 strongest schools. Now that she's graduated, no one knows what level she's reached. Cheng Nguyen continued the story, saying that the beast tamer Chuk chose the breeding specialty. She's back in Bin Thon now, and she helped pick out my real metal beast. Chuk once said she wanted to study this specialty to research whether real metal beasts could evolve again. Cheng Nguyen doesn't know if Chuk succeeded, but she thinks it must have been insanely difficult. Grandmaster Lam spent his whole life raising real metal beasts, but never found any sign of a second evolution. In her eyes, real metal beasts are just pets in her hands, spending their days eating and sleeping. While they were deep in conversation, Kid 11 shouted loudly, "Stop talking, we've spotted a mole rat." Tran Kai used a small tube to observe, pointing to the direction Kid 11 was indicating. Judging by the size, it's definitely level 4, and its aggression isn't high. The key is how to catch it before it senses danger and burrows away. The book said these mole rats have super strong alertness. They react more to temperature than sound or light. Approaching it with real metal beasts or armored beasts would draw attention because of their abnormal body heat, so Vu Thon Thon suggested sneaking up, using thorn bushes disguised as plants. The small climbing shoes silently approached, but the mole rat immediately turned around and saw them. While the climbing shoes tried to grab the mole rat, it nimbly jumped up and escaped. "Let me see where you're running off to," Tran Kai ordered the armored beast to block its escape route. The mole rat lightly jumped over the armored beast's head like an athlete, then aimed for the burrow it had already dug as an escape route. Thought everything would go smoothly like before, but suddenly something fast swooped down in front of the mole rat, blocking its burrow. Kid 11 jumped out of nowhere, kicking up dirt and blocking its burrow. Facing that sharp little eye like a dagger, the mole rat froze in fear, its legs seeming rooted to the ground. The thornbush monster took the chance to wrap its climbing shoes tightly around it. Now the mole rat had no way out. All three stood open-mouthed in shock, wondering what kind of power that was, and where Kid 11 got the guts to jump down like that. It felt like with him here, they could find every mole rat den directly. Vu Thon Thon said this mole rat was meant for the Nin. If your real metal beast hadn't shown up, this mole rat would have escaped long ago. They definitely underestimated the mole rat's reflexes. The thornbush monster is a natural world expert but still couldn't catch it immediately. Looks like their training was pretty sloppy. Catching one mole beast is newbie level. If one catches 100 a day, even accounting for losses and feeding Kid 11, it's barely breaking even. Luckily, the long-term training effect on super senses is what really matters. According to the Nin, they want to split into groups as planned earlier in the car. Tran Kai said near the end, "Let's meet back here later. Splitting up will speed up catching since this field is huge. When you face a creature, figure out how to handle that specific one. When it's a big rat nest, call everyone to brainstorm together. That's when teamwork really kicks into high gear." Thon Thon suggested a challenge to see who could catch the most rats. Trang Nguyet already felt her beast pet had no future in this game. Even though both Kid 11 and Trang Nguyet's pet are beast armors, she felt like these two were from totally different worlds. Before the session, Thoi Ninh set a goal, not just to catch 20 field rats, but Kid 11 was fired up, insisting on catching 200 to really prove himself. Thoi Ninh was helpless with his competitive streak, but he didn't care how many he caught. The key was, he couldn't wreck the farmer's crops. Otherwise, if he couldn't make money and had to pay compensation, even Thoi Nin's whole fortune wouldn't cover it. Then he'd have to use the pet's food money to pay up. Today wasn't about training hardening skills. It was all about reaction training. With this kid's body setup, he could catch rats without even using special moves. This kid could smash through iron tables. Now how could the local crops and plants stand a chance? But Thoi Ninh still had to hype him up. Whatever he caught, he'd convert it into pet labor money to buy more food. Kid 11 was like a cat let out of the cage, hustling to catch every rat he saw. His speed was so fast it sounded like snapping fingers, leaving the field rats no time to react. The three farmers watching rubbed their eyes in disbelief. Is this really a beast armor? In all these decades, I've never seen a beast armor like this. Kid 11 held a rat in each hand, one in his mouth, yet he still wasn't satisfied. Why hasn't Thoi Ninh taught him earth skills yet? If he had, he could just burrow underground and catch all these field rats himself. Before, the kid often slacked off but still got fed. Now he finally understood the advantage of mastering multiple skills. But of course, Thoi Ninh couldn't teach him earth skills. Those slots were reserved for rarer abilities. The old man taking notes said Kid 11 slowed down, but his eyes couldn't keep up with the rat-catching level. This beast armor was definitely not by the book. 2 hours passed, and Kid 11's speed didn't drop. Farmers kept coming to watch, amazed at where this beast armor got all that stamina. Thoi Ninh smiled slyly, saying this was just a form of endurance training. His beast armor only liked eating and training. This intensity was nothing compared to his long jump sessions. Tran Kai scouted over, eyes wide, as he saw Kid 11 had caught 22 rats, averaging one every 5 minutes. He shook his head at Thoi Ninh, asking if he wasn't feeling well this morning. Beast armors are super creatures. They don't get tired, so why was Thoi Ninh looking so drained? Thoi Ninh handed him a pill, telling him to pop one. It works wonders. Seeing Thoi Ninh skip meals and just eat supplements to recover, all three respected his guts. Tran Kai seemed to realize why Thoi Ninh was different from the city's beastmasters at Nang Roi. It's not about fearing others' talent, but fearing they're willing to risk more than you. Overall, he was totally outmatched by Thoi Ninh. No clue how many rats the other three had caught. Tran Kai caught 7, Vu Thon Thon caught 6. Trang Nguyet glanced at them, then at herself, and started crying. Her beast armor was dumb, and Slow only caught 2. Kid 11 kept busy catching rats, shooting her a judging look. Don't try to half-ass it with all your beast armors. The old man, taking notes, shook his head, saying, don't say that this beast armor was the most efficient pet he'd ever seen. Seriously impressive. Thoi Ninh brought in supplies. After eating and resting, they'd fight again in the afternoon. While everyone ate, Kid 11 stayed glued to his rat-catching spot. Trang Nguyet watched Thoi Ninh eat without caring about the world, but couldn't help asking him, does your beast really not need to eat? That's just not how it works. Beasts aren't supposed to be like that. At first, she had been raising pets at the base for a long time, but never saw one as lively as this. Yet Thoi Ninh just said one thing. If Kid 11 didn't have that personality, how could he master the art of forced evolution so well? Makes sense, they all agreed, while Thoi Ninh always carried supplements to keep his energy up and avoid sleep, just training to sprint harder. Definitely not someone who takes it easy on himself. Tran Kai jumped up when he heard that, realizing the truth now. He finally understood why the pass rate for the city's professional beast tamers was so high. So the beast tamers in his city were all risking it like that, and that's why he could train a pet with such self-discipline. Thoi Ninh was sweating. He said he was just a bit more diligent than them, not some genius or anything. The supplements he used were to recover from skill fatigue, and as for Kid 11, it was just an accident. Its self-discipline was natural from the start, plus it was the only one left behind. Thoi Ninh had no other choice. At first, only Lam, Tu Chuk, and Thoi Ninh could see the kid's potential. She had rich experience in pet raising, and Thoi Ninh had skill points, so no matter what pet he chose, it was all calculated. You could say meeting Kid 11 was fate, creating this kind of unscientific reaction. Thoi Ninh found it hard to explain all this to others. In short, they were exceptions, and he couldn't tell others not to try. Tran Kai saw Thoi Nin's humble honesty and argued, how's that not genius? It's exactly this kind of genius that makes the money. Enough talk, next time. I'm making the guild's armored beasts train this hard. Same here. I'm hitting the pharmacy tomorrow for some brain boosters to cram all night. Vu Thon Thon agreed wholeheartedly with Tran Kai. Tran Kai didn't believe Thoi Ninh couldn't do it. Humans all have 2 hands after all. Now that he knew Thoi Nin's secret to getting stronger, he had to try it. Thoi Ninh felt guilty, but if they were willing to risk it like that, he couldn't stop them. Tran Kai was curious if Thoi Ninh was prepping for the professional beast tamer exam, but since his major was pet raising, wouldn't he aim to become a pro pet raiser instead? Thoi Ninh was conflicted too. Even though he studied pet raising, he wanted to take the professional beast tamer exam first. If he became a pro pet raiser, he'd make bank, but if his identity got exposed, he'd definitely be forced into experiments. Even though the human world is now a rule of law society, there's still a hierarchy between top beast tamers and regular folks. Monopoly companies, market competition, national rivalry, even among beast tamers, there are dirty tricks. Besides human cruelty, other supercriminal creatures are eyeing human territory. Before he could protect himself, teaching was out of the question. To connect with higher-level beast tamers and copy advanced skills, Thoi Ninh had to walk the path of a professional beast tamer. He had to boost his own combat power to survive in this world, where danger could strike any time. Tran Kai muttered, calculating that maybe after a few more exams they'd still be together. It was already July, and the exams were less than half a year away. Thoi Nin's pet was currently at Awakening level 5. Armored beasts were level 6. This rank wasn't enough to qualify for the pro exam. The first round of the professional beast tamer exam tests basics. The lowest qualification requires the tamer's pet to have supercriminal combat power, meaning an awakening level above human. It's already tough for their 6-year-old pets to reach level 10, let alone supercriminal rank, so Tran Kai guessed Thoi Ninh would take the exam later. But Thoi Ninh said he'd take it next time. His savings and pet's growth couldn't support Kid 11 for half a year. He had to quickly get his certification to start earning his own income. But his pet was only level 5. Tran Kai thought it was impossible for Kid 11 to reach supercriminal level in half a year. The awakening phase to supercriminal level is already tough, trapping many creatures. The transition between supercriminal and criminal is even more brutal. But Thoi Ninh wasn't worried. Although reaching supercriminal was hard for an awakened pet like Kid 11, it wasn't impossible. Even if it didn't become supercriminal, an awakened pet could still enter the pro exam. Those with real skill always have privileges. The privilege Thoi Ninh mentioned was the Challenge Beast rank. A pet beast with mastered skills and advanced abilities, the Challenge Beast rank is the easiest shortcut to bypass super-level ranks. Tran Kai thought that challenging the beast rank wasn't impossible, even for a male beast with repetitive skill mastery at the proficient level. Once again, Tran Kai belonged to Thoi Nin's camp. He even had a broader perspective than him. After returning, he definitely needed to reflect on himself. Suddenly, a loud alarm siren blared, startling everyone. The town speaker announced a shocking alert, a yellow warning for a beast pack. Outside the city, a sizable pack of beasts was gathering, and their numbers were steadily increasing. All relevant departments and personnel were urged to prepare defensive measures according to protocol. The old man with Thoi Ninh said today's situation was a bit unusual and told them to head back quickly. The recent town speaker announcement was probably about restless mountain beasts. The yellow warning didn't sound too serious. But if things got worse, they might have to evacuate the area. Thoi Ninh felt it wasn't time to panic yet. The warning was just a heads up for locals, not a sign of real danger. And if there was a threat to the city walls, it wouldn't be just a yellow warning, so Thoi Ninh thought there was no need to head down now. Tran Kai suggested waiting to see how things unfolded, but Trang Nguyen immediately shot that down. What was there to wait for? The city was already on alert. Him going down would only add to the chaos. Let's head back first. Thoi Ninh reconsidered. Catching field mice could wait. Once back, it was more important to get clear info from the Beastmaster Association about this beast pack warning. After returning to the Beastmaster Association, staff still didn't fully understand the meaning of this yellow alert. But this wasn't the first warning this month. The previous 2 were green alerts, and now it had escalated to yellow. Just then, Thoi Ninh arrived at Tran Kai and Trang Nguyen's spot. Teacher Trung nearby saw them chatting in the group and came over to check, surprised to find them already back. Thoi Ninh couldn't believe they were chatting in a group that included teachers. Before, whenever they made a class group, he always had a separate one without teachers for easier talks. Teacher Trung, seeing 2 unfamiliar faces, introduced himself to Thoi Ninh and Vu Than Than. He guessed everyone was curious about the beast pack warning and decided to lead them somewhere quieter to talk. Thoi Ninh walked while pondering. If there really was danger, he needed to brace himself. He planned to bring the 11-year-old kid into the city area since even the outskirts weren't safe. Teacher Trung said things were different now compared to 11 years ago. The defensive gear around Tuit's zone was top-notch. Even if real danger appeared, the Beastmaster Association would respond fast. If the city's association couldn't handle it, the city's Beastmasters would step in. And if the city's Beastmaster squad couldn't hold the line nearby, city's squads would quickly come to assist. Currently, Tuit's zone's creatures no longer posed a serious threat to the city, so it seemed this beast pack might be a repeat incident. Then Tran Kai wrapped up the discussion. But right now, there are only a few small packs of ferocious beasts, way weaker than 10 years ago. Thoi Ninh wanted to ask why they showed up. Since that Tuit zone is an ice-type beast, it should prefer snowy environments over the city, right? The book also says that food scarcity and intense competition are the main reasons why beast packs appear. But it seems this isn't why the Snow Mountain Beast Pack invaded the city. After all, the accident 10 years ago happened without warning, and they suddenly erupted. Master Zhang understood Xi Ning's point, but in the end, they still couldn't pinpoint the cause, and no one has figured out what happened 10 years ago. If we had to guess, the city of Bingyuan has a long history, and it's part of the city's past. The four kids lit up, eager to hear Master Zhang's story, but this isn't really history since there's no solid proof yet. It's all just speculation. According to archaeological findings 2,000 years ago, there was no snowy mountain environment around Bingyuan. It was the territory of the Beast Tamer tribe, a powerful faction of the Old Kingdom back then. But one day, an ice dragon flew in from nowhere and landed on a nearby mountain. This ice dragon was super strong and triggered a mini ice age, making life hell for the Beast Tamer tribe. Then the tribe decided to kick it out, forming a team to launch a campaign to block the ice, and that's supposedly how Snow Mountain was formed. Everyone was curious who won that battle, probably the Beast Tamer tribe, otherwise there wouldn't be any city now. There's also an ice dragon relic on Snow Mountain. They say its hornbone is still sealed inside, locked away by the Beast Tamers back then. Even now, the relic still radiates dragon energy, but after 2,000 years, no matter how strong the ice dragon was, it's probably completely gone. The current theory is that the sealed ice dragon turned into a spirit affecting the wild beasts in Snow Mountain. Its dragon energy drove the 7 beasts crazy, making them attack the city. Just hearing about the ice dragon ghost gave the 3 of them goosebumps. Look over there, see that giant stone statue Xi Ning's heading to. That's one of the artifacts archaeologists dug up. It's said to be the totem of the Beast Tamer tribe. Xi Ning wondered if the tribe used that thing to defeat the ice dragon. No, a strange voice suddenly echoed, startling Xi Ning. He looked around, then back at the stone statue, whose 2 eyes were glowing. Don't tell me that voice came from the statue. Am I turning into light too? This stone statue has no life. Spiritual sensing only picks up living beings' thoughts. If the statue was weird, it wouldn't be here. Wu Qingqing put a hand on his shoulder, noticing Xi Ning's pale face. Ah, it's nothing. This stone dude looks pretty detailed, haha, Xi Ning joked, trying to shake it off. Looks like no one else heard that voice. But the feeling was just like when he used spiritual sensing to talk to the beast guns. That statue definitely made a sound just now, but no way it's some super being. It's just a regular stone statue, made by humans based on the tribe's totem. Maybe it's just old enough to seem like a spirit now. If it had turned into a super being, other beast tamers would have noticed long ago. This statue is even kept at the Beast Tamer Association where they live. Master Zhang could only talk this far. He had to leave soon for other business. Don't stress about it, kids. Beast packs aren't your problem. Even if that legendary ice dragon came back, our beast tamers could handle it. After saying goodbye to Master Zhang Chen, Kai asked if they were going to catch rats again. Xi Ning immediately declined, saying he suddenly remembered some things to do. In a rush, eat first, then go. Seeing them try to hold him back, Xi Ning bolted. Chen Kai stayed behind, heart aching. He still hadn't gotten Xi Ning's phone number yet. I'm telling you, Thoi Ninh went home and dove headfirst into reading. The history of this world breaks down into 3 major eras: mythical totem and beastmaster. Word is, the mythical era was when legendary creatures ruled the planet born from heaven and earth. The totem era was when humans appeared living among powerful beings in various ways. The beastmaster era is when humans mastered beast control, split into the ancient and modern periods. The turning point between these eras was over 100 years ago, when 7 human nations formed the Beastmaster Alliance. The era divisions are simple, but weirdly, this world's history has tons of gaps, some secret, some just unrecorded. Like why the first mythical creature disappeared, that's a historical blackout with no clue when it happened. The same goes for what happened over 2,000 years ago in Bang Nguyen City. It's history humans still don't fully get. The stuff Dad wanted, Thoi Ninh couldn't find anything on it, there's just a pile of records. He told himself not to be selfish. Since his fate was to be an archaeologist, he couldn't resist the curiosity when faced with unknown myths. Driven by curiosity, Thoi Ninh started hitting up ancient sites everywhere, chasing rumors to find unknown mythical beings. Everything became his daily grind. Then, when he finally found a lead, he got caught in a landslide and was buried alive. After that, he ended up in this world. Curiosity's a killer for humans. Staying home and gaming is way safer. Early on, Thoi Ninh questioned why he kept putting himself in danger, chasing investigations. So now, having crossed into this world, he just wants to stay safe and live peacefully. This life, he's got to learn to enjoy it properly. Even though this world's history feels like a riddle, and the authentic mythical beasts pull him in, he can't repeat the mistakes of his past life. Thoi Ninh closed the book, determined not to dig into anything else. But I don't get why he showed up in front of that stone statue. Didn't it talk to him earlier today? Now he's all quiet and withdrawn. Suddenly, its voice from this morning echoed, "Are you seriously doubting the history everyone believes in?"